man, it's on the wrong thing. Alright, hold on, guys. Always something. Man. So now we're... What the heck? Alright. Give me a second here, guys. Every night it's something new. Something different to mess with the stream. So give me a second to try to work everything back where it's supposed to be. Alright, we're up and running. Wow, the stream's not running too good. We're in the rain, and with the satellite internet, sometimes it doesn't go too good. Definitely took it off the 1080 for tonight. So we'll just see how this thing goes. A lot of things to get into. A couple clips we'll show here a little bit later. But I want to show you something on the map. So every little red dot you see on this map is fires. So when you look at the whole, all the different continents, and you see all the fires that are going on, and we scroll down in here on California, why is California the only one that is cutting the power? What is going on? Well, we're going to dig in and find out. I mean, we got mega fires going everywhere. So, yeah, just strange stuff. So let's get into a little bit of news here. Check this out. Lebanese protesters celebrate. So they got one of the government officials to resign. The prime minister, I think is, let's see, celebration went up across Lebanon on Tuesday as protesters demanding the fall of the government celebrated. So the prime minister, they made him quit. I mean, this is what we're talking about, like the pots and pans revolution that happened in Iceland. What's going on here in Lebanon? They're tired of the governments, the corrupt governments, and the takeovers. So take note on this. Take note on what's going on in all these other countries. They're rising up against the tyrannical governments. That's what the Second Amendment was for. So we get this cyclone Kayar, the strongest storm on Earth, is breaking all sorts of records. Guess who fabricated this storm? We just showed you last night. If you weren't here last night, the Global Trading Company. And I mean, when you see the path of this storm, it's insane. I mean, they're going to turn it. Let me find it here. I have it here. There it is. They're turning it back over towards here's the United Arab Emirates. This is where the weather modification company is. These storms never go backwards like this. They go up and into India. This thing is doing a U-turn and headed right back where the weather generators are online. Now we'll get into this. This is a category 5, but this is a cyclone. I think they use a different, I mean, look at the signature on this thing. Let's animate this thing. Doesn't even look like a hurricane or a cyclone. Let's take a look at this. Well, if it'll load. All right, we're back in the green. What is this thing? I have never... Let me take the tracks off here because that's just insane looking. What is this thing? It don't even have an eye wall. This is a completely man-made storm. We know the company that's doing it. Look at it. Let's go to the Mimic and see what they did to it. Let's go to the last 48 hours, man. What's going on with this thing? Okay, it started out a perfect eye wall, just like Dorian, just like Michael. And what'd they do to it? So there we go. The eye wall is freaking out. It's getting hit with the weather generators. It's doing a U-turn. It's crunching and squeezing. You can see all the chemtrails, the dark blue lines. they're chemtrailing into the cyclone. Wonder if I can pause this. No, it's a GIF file. I can't pause it. But look up here. You're going to start seeing the grid pattern. There's the grid patterns. Look at that. They're spraying right over this thing. Now, are they trying to slow it down, or are they trying to speed it up? So you can actually see the complete manipulation of this storm. And we know the weather generator just went online right before this thing developed. And we can actually see the chemtrails in there. So that's pretty nuts. Just add that to the list of the man-made storms. We go back here. Yeah, I have never ever seen the radar that color before. I mean, that's pretty. Let's check it out on the water vapor. See if we can get it to load here. Whoa, just look at that, man. That is not even normal. Complete freaky colors. Yeah, look at that thing just getting exploded. It's sucking energy in, you know, not even where it normally it'd suck it up and around. You got some major manipulation going on with this storm. Check it out on the IR. You know, and the weather modification people are right here. I mean, they're like right there. Not even showing an eye wall whatsoever. Yeah, look at it being pushed up and pulled around. I mean, they're messing with that thing hard. I don't know if we'll be able to get to visible. Hey, thanks out there, Funky. This thing's out in, yeah, it's not going to let us get that. We'll look at this on the tracks and all that stuff. Hopefully my voice will hold together tonight. All right, let's get into a few more articles. We got that one, man-made. Oh, check this out. Let's play a little clip. Oh, it's going to hit us with the ad or something. Wait, it shouldn't be an ad because I got premium. All right, here we go.
So, as we've been reporting for the past week or so, fine dust concentrations really did rise to alarming levels in South Korea over the past several days. One of the methods identified as a potential way to mitigate the worst effects is a technology called cloud seeding. Tests are already being carried out in the skies above South Korea. Cha Sang-mi tells us just exactly how it works and how effective it could possibly be.
In a bid to tackle rising levels of fine dust in the country, the South Korean government has turned to creating artificial rain. Known as cloud seeding, the method involves aircraft loaded with canisters full of chemical substances, such as silver iodide, which are dispersed into the air. Upward winds carry the substance into the clouds, which combine with cool moisture to form ice crystals and water droplets, resulting in precipitation.
We conducted our first cloud seeding test in 1963.
1963, huh? That was going on over in South Korea. I thought this didn't exist. I thought they didn't cloud seed, but they are everywhere. In fact, I got another little clip for you. In fact, I got a couple clips for you. Here, let's play this clip. And I want to thank, oh man, since my tab moved, let me see who sent me that. Nicole. All right, thanks for sending me this clip. Check this clip out.
Maybe. Russian soldiers overseas.
Thank you. I'd like to just get on to Mr. Fletcher. Another question on the in an interview with the Los Angeles Times on April 21st, you said that you told the Associated Press that the American government has created weather tampering techniques so that the New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans and to control the rest. Would you?
Again, where is it? I'm trying to get it, guys. Hang on.
We can bring in the oceanic rain, and we need to be conscious it's not.
Well, this just came up on 7 News Brisbane. Just listen, and did he actually admit to spraying in the clouds?
On today's weather now, and Tony, something strange going on in the skies of southern Queensland in the past day.
Good afternoon, Katrina. Yes, we've started seeing some mysterious echoes appearing on the radar. Now, they started late yesterday afternoon over the Darling Downs with trails of blue sweeping across the southeast during the evening and overnight before it all dissipated early this morning. So, what is it? Well, it's not weather-related. Skies were clear last night and there was no rain recorded anywhere. Now, one theory is that it's a thing called chaff, small metal or plastic fibres released into the air to help shield military aircraft from radar detection during exercises. No one has confirmed that, but these streams here are consistent with something being released in the upper atmosphere over the downs, then being swept across the southeast by strong winds. Interesting nonetheless. Today, mostly sunny skies, no mysterious radar signals. Ipswich, Greenbank and Canungra pushed up to 30 degrees with 31 at Gatton and Beaudesert. Katrina, I'll be...
Okay, so what did he just admit to?
Residents in southern Tasmania are demanding to know why cloud seeding was conducted over the Derwent River catchment the day before the worst floods in 40 years. Cloud seeding is a technique used to increase rain. Hydro Tasmania has confirmed it flew a cloud seeding flight despite the weather warnings. Farmers believe the technique could have made the flooding worse. The Premier says a formal inquiry will be held into the effect and handling of the floods if it's necessary.
I'm trying to get it on the right scene. Wow, that meteorologist, what a sock puppet. Unconfirmed. Well, we confirmed it the day it happened. We showed they were cloud seeding over Australia, and then the fire started. But, you know, these sock puppet meteorologists, they get paid tons of money, or just paid to lie to you, paid to play dumb. That's why they had to come up with all these stupid new names for clouds and different storms. It's just ridiculous, man. Everybody needs to turn off the local weather, the Weather Channel, and all the other sock puppet liars reading the scripts. Anyway, check this out. Air Force secretive X-37B space plane lands after a 780-day classified mission. Check it out. They got some little like telescope pictures here. So it's been, you know, booking around the Earth for 780 days. Nobody knew about it. It broke the record for the longest cruise around. You know what was crazy is one day I seen one of these on the back of a semi truck that looked all burnt up, and it didn't have no wings on it, but it was just the whole deal. It was all burnt up, headed towards the military base up in Nebraska. Anyway, I'll leave the links for these in the thing if you want to read about it. I'm not going to read that crap, but hurricane force winds gust to lash part of the U.S. Isn't that what we called for on the 16-day forecast? We called it hurricane winds, hurricane strength winds 2 weeks ago, and here they are. Hey, thanks out there again, Funky Boo, and Laura. Much love out there. Thanks for helping us out. I mean, look at this. Here's another sock puppet guy. Here, let's see what he says.
Here between the wet and the active conditions in the east, gusty thunderstorms, heavy rain, mild weather. Meanwhile, dry in the west. We'll be talking about some snow flying around throughout the central Great Lakes, especially from northwestern Illinois throughout.
I can't handle it. I can't listen to them. We know they're liars. We also got Santa Ana winds, maybe the strongest of the season so far. I heard that the winds were going to be lighter. You just keep getting the, you know, one guy will say the winds are high, the other guy will say the winds are low. One guy will say it's because of a low pressure, the other weather lady will say because of the high pressure. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They have no clue what they're doing. They're just reading the script that comes from Raytheon. Raytheon writes the weather forecasts weeks in advance, maybe months in advance. They send their little sticky notes to the National Weather Service. Then the National Weather Service makes some more sticky notes and sends it to all these mainstream sock puppets. There's something bigger going on here with these power outages. I think they're trying to take over PG&E, but who knows, man? Things are so messed up right now. But that's what it looks like. It's also the Agenda 21. They're burning these people out to bring in the mega structures, the high-speed railways, running the people out. It's just madness, and you got to feel bad for the people in California. I mean, they're going hungry. No power for days after days. Here's that site again, the Sonoma County firestorm update. They're needing lasagna pans to feed the animals. I mean, these people are going without power for a long time. I mean, they don't have no way to cook. You can read through the comments on here. It's pretty getting pretty bad out here. So, is this just a test for the whole United States or maybe the whole world? It's all to bring in the New World Order. We know that. But more crazy. Hey, thanks out there, Susan. Air is chewy, metallic taste. So thanks out there, Susan Donahue. And she's saying that she's on the West Coast, 25 miles south of San Francisco. The air is chewy, metallic taste. We're about to lose power again in 3 hours. Major respiratory issues. I don't want to go to the ER. Please pray for humanity. Please pray for California. We'll send them your way right now. Why everybody's suffering out there, you're suffering because of your tyrannical government. You're suffering from your too much power PG&E company that's tyrannical, that's murderers and taking land by eminent domain and all kinds of weather modification. The PG&E does the weather modification. 90% of the power companies are involved in the weather modification. Check out this crazy person. So when the Kincaid fire was going, some people flew through here in a hot air balloon. I mean, don't that stuff, isn't it like full of helium that could explode or catch fire? I mean, how nuts do you have to be to go over a fire in a plastic hot air balloon? Pretty nuts. I mean, I couldn't even believe this when I seen it. It's like this video only has, it's got 186 views now. 1 thumb up, 2 thumbs down. Mainstream channel with 25,000 subscribers. I mean, this is just nuts. Don't know what that guy's smoking, but must be good. He's lucky he got out of there. See, so now California's blackouts are part of a far bigger problem. See, the government is wanting to take over the power company, I guess because the power company has more power than the government. Now, I'm not going to read into all this, but like I said, I'll leave the links, or you can just Google search that California's blackouts are part of the far bigger problem, which is the New World Order problem. That's our problem. Another article on why this week's Santa Ana winds may be the strongest of the season. It's just back and forth. Here we go. Fires unprecedented levels of aluminum, barium, nanodust, primary components, and chemtrails, both of which are incendiary, are fueling the ferocity of the super fires. Aluminum dust from geoengineering fueling super wildfires, according to the author. Los Angeles, September 6, 2018. While researching this new novel, Arthur Dennis Mills discovered an alarming link between the chemtrails and the super wildfires. Well, we've known about that for years. Yeah, these are the same things that we've seen on the worldview over and over. And we've already had so many people send us soil samples, rain samples, snow samples, all with the high levels of aluminum, barium, strontium. I mean, there's tons of particulates out there. Here's another article, same thing. All coming out. It's all coming out. They're going to have to create something to make it. They're going to do something different because it's not working. Here's another article that NASA faked the climate data. The top UK government scientist, he exposes the discrepancies in the National Global Historica climate data. See, what's going on is they're using the satellite data to measure the sea levels and all that stuff. And if you think about it, if the ice melted, if all the ice melted on the poles, the sea will not rise. It'll actually go down lower. Just take a cup, fill it full of ice, and watch it melt. Does the water overflow the cup? No, it shrinks. It goes lower. And if you watched, if you were with us a couple weeks back, we showed that the most accurate way to measure the sea level is down in Australia. There's a man, I can't remember the name of the place right offhand. Hey, thanks out there, GT. Where did all the people evacuated go from the fires? I think they're all just going to these camps. They're like the FEMA camps. Anyway, I'll dig that up for tomorrow. All right, we had if you were with us the other night again, we showed you the giant mass methane explosion that went off on the West Coast back in 2016. Well, they just come out today. First pictures and video of the largest methane fountain so far discovered in the Arctic Ocean. Unexpectedly high levels of subsea permafrost degradation was recorded by the Russian-led scientist expedition. I found Ron Johnson sent me an article several years ago about the methane mass extinction event. Now I'm going to try to dig that article back out. There was so much research in that article, and I might have did a video on it, but we're going to have to bring that out again. But it's like hundreds of scientists went through, and it was called the extinction level event, and it was something to do with the methane. We'll try to dig that article up and get into that. Man, all the aerosols they've been deploying here in Missouri has just got my throat roasted right now. Here they go. Greenland ice cap melt measured by satellites, and it's enough to cover Tasmania in almost 5 meters of water. BS alert. More BS alert. Didn't Al Gore say, the ocean was going to be flooding New York and Florida? Everybody I know that has lived on the water for over 50 years, there has been no rise at all. Like if you melt the ice, the water level's actually going to go down. Big lies. So the Germans are demanding all the U.S. military to leave, claiming that the war with Russia is inevitable. They're always going to have the war machine drums pounding. Hey, thanks out there, Babu. This is just something they do. So there we go on that. All right, let's go ahead and get into some satellite stuff. I don't think my voice is going to make it too long tonight. So let's just see if there's any watches and warnings right now. We put them on here real quick. Yeah, Al Gore is delusional. You notice, they were calling it global warming. Al Gore made almost $200 million. And now they started calling it climate change. Who's making the money on the climate change logo? And then now it's the climate crisis. Who's making that money? Is it the Greta? Is the Greta making the money? The Soros funded crap starters for sure. And nothing that Al Gore predicted happened. Not one damn thing. But yet, he's got 200 million in his pockets right now from the scam. They're all scams. Every politician in the whole world is corrupt. There is no, you need normal people in office. So things need to be straightened out here. All right, so we got tons of winter storm warnings. No, I don't see no blizzards or nothing. Looks like we got a little severe weather in the south, but the wind's going to be the big story. Let's go ahead and check the aerosol layer. Yeah, now I can see. Look, we're still flooding on the Missouri River. It's still flooded. Still flooded up in South Dakota. Has been since May of this year. Yeah, Fort Denison, Australia. There you go. That's the most accurate way to measure the sea level rise. Let's see if I can find that article. All right, here we go. Hey, I'm glad you remember. I got a bad memory, so I'm glad you guys can help me find this here. So here's the best way to check out the sea level rise. It always rises and falls a certain amount. We'll let this load because there's an excellent chart. If this is the right video here. So hopefully this will load. Yeah, this explains the sea level rise better than anything. So let's let this thing go. I know I got to scroll it forward, I think, a little ways. How's it not going to let me scroll it? Yeah, I know he shows a chart on here, and that's what I want to get to. Heck, let's just play it. Let's see if it'll play.
Daniel Fitzhenry, thank you so much indeed for joining me. Can we start with just explaining to viewers, what is your expertise in measuring things like sea levels?
Well, we're hydrographic surveyors, and they make the charts that ships navigate by, and the reason for having charts is so that ships don't get bent.
And when it comes to Fort Denison, why is that a good measure of sea levels around Sydney?
Well, to the east of Australia, all the way across to the United States and South America, is the largest body of water on Earth. And the Fort Denison station has been and remains one of the most reliable tide gauging stations and sea level gauging stations in the world.
And the Bureau of Meteorology has been checking records there for more than a century, and there have been other records going back further again. Can you tell us what the records show?
Well, the Bureau of Meteorology started mean sea level records in 1914. They show the highest levels of the tides, the lowest levels of the tides, but mean sea level is the one that we need, say we wanted to calculate the volume in the oceans, or if we want to calculate if sea level is rising or falling.
But when you look at the data that when you look at the data, you see 1914, then it's pretty high, then it stays high for, a couple of decades, a decade and a half. Then there's low levels for 3 decades, then higher again at the end of the century. But since then, the last couple of years, it's trended down. It's actually lower now, according to your data, than it was in 1914. What does that tell you?
Well, right now, the sea level at Sydney is about 6 centimetres lower than it was in 1914. Now, sea levels are affected by, on a day-to-day basis, by the moon rotating around the Earth, and in the long term, the small pluses and minuses in mean sea level is affected by...
All right, so here's the chart I was wanting to look at. You can see back in 1914, 1.11 meters, 2019, 1.05. So we've dropped, 0.6 since 1940. It kind of goes up and down, up and down. But, if sea rise was real, these would just keep going up and up and up and up, and they're not. So all a lie, and that's a perfect example there. Let me copy that. Let me put that in the description down there so that link is in there, because you could share that out to the people that thinks the sea is rising. All right, let me get that watches warnings off. Put a little bit of an enhancer on here. I know a lot of you guys got bombarded out there. And so we're going to see if we can spot it. Look at this spraying out off the coast of North Carolina. You have aerosols being deployed back over the Bajas. Aerosols being deployed over the mountains in California. That's not good. They're spraying right over the super volcano. Big sprays, big fat sprays. Sprays over Missouri before the clouds got here. Look at this chem fog all through the Midwest. This is why everybody's throat is messed up in the Midwest. They created like a chem fog, cloud inversion. Yeah, them are huge fat liners out there. Doing a little ice nucleating. Let's go check California, see what kind of fires are going on there. All right, so here we go. See if this thing will load up. All right, we're going to zoom in over there because I can't even see that. Let me take the enhancer off for a minute. All right, let's go a little closer. Let's go right down here on California. Yeah, it's definitely a New World Order war on the people going on here in California. It's some kind of complete takeover. Yeah, and they're supposed to be getting some more winds tomorrow, but I mean, over Mount Hood, Oregon, I don't know. We'll look here. Right now, I'm just trying to see if we see any hot spots. I mean, we're hardly getting any smoke. Where's the fires? We're going to zoom in on her even closer. Let me try the northern one first, because we're not getting anything. Yeah, a lot of the anxiety that people are getting right now, the Schumann residents is really freaked out right now. Plus you have the sun activity, and that could definitely lead to the anxiety, plus all the crap going on in the world. So yeah, we can see a little bit of a fire going, but not a whole lot of smoke. I think Bamboo did an update earlier today, and there was no wind, so the smoke was just kind of hanging around. Let me see if the enhancement will work on this. Brighten that up a little bit. So yeah, we got definitely see the fires in the daytime. I mean, they're not showing as big as the news is saying. I mean, maybe they are. We'll zoom in a little more and just see. I don't think that enhancement is helping. Let's go closer. and see what we get. Yeah, just look up Bamboo Soldier. He's over on D Live right now. I don't think he's in the chat. So you can see the little red spot. I don't know if you guys can see that on the live stream. It'll show up after the video processes. So it's, you know, it's not showing some massive fire like the other night. It's not super hot. You see it, it's pulsing. The fire's pulsing a little bit. Look at the burn scar already. We're already getting a pretty good burn scar. Quite a few homes have been destroyed. So, you know, tonight and tomorrow is going to be a crucial time with this fire, because after tonight and tomorrow, the wind's going to die down. So this is the last, if we can make it through the next 24 to 48 hours, they should be able to get a control of it. And if they don't, that means they're just letting it burn. Let's go up north. Let's just kind of check up and see if we have any kind of flumes coming off. You know, these people got to be getting tired of the power shutdowns. They're all probably hungry. They're draining them down. They're wearing them down, and then they're going to pull something on them. Why? They're weak. That's how they roll, man. All right, so we're looking here over Northern California, parts of Oregon. Just looking for any signs of hot spots. I can't tell if that's one over here or if that's my screen. Let me put my enhancer back on here. Yeah, we have a little bit of something coming out. Unless that's clouds being generated off the mountains right there. But it's not showing a hot spot. Yeah, that's pretty weird. Look, let's go on up a little farther. Go up into the Washington area. Well, the billionaires are buying bunkers in Tasmania. They're building bunkers down there. They've already took the guns away in Tasmania. And now they're building the bunkers. Oh, there's a hot... Wow, that was weird. Hold on. We got a little flame up. Wow, look at that. Can you guys see that? Let me grow this. Man, I hate the way they got this web page where you can't zoom it right unless you're on a tablet. Where is it? Now I can't find it. Can I shift that over? Alright. I can use my keypads. Oh, that's just for that. Dang it. So it looks like we just had something explode off the top of a mountain. Let's see here if we can find it. Wow, right there. Look at that. That is crazy. Let me put my... So that happened within... So 1441 UTC, 1446 UTC. So like 30 minutes, and then it's just gone, man. It looks like a volcano exploded or something right there. Now that's pretty weird. I don't know what that is. May have to check the earthquake stuff. I went a little higher north than I wanted. Let's check right here. Hotspot. Three hotspots right there. I already see them. Ooh, we got another hot spot there. It looks like we have way more. Another, look at that. More popping off right here. Wow, that one's burning. Then another one burns directly north of it. We got smoke right here, but it's not showing heat. What is that? These are, you know, there's probably a volcanic field right here. So we got new hot spots here right at the coast, man. Heads up. So we got one there, and one there. Remember, right out here's where we caught that flume coming out of the ocean. All right, let's expand this a little bit so we can see. Let me go over to the west just to get a better view of this whole area. Yeah, it might be Mount Hood. That's weird. They don't really they don't show up when you're expanded out, but I do want to see if there's any bunker fuel operations out here. So let me put this on the microphysics. Oh my gosh, look at that grid pattern. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have at least 14 ships out here gridding with the bunker fuel. I mean, we got a lot of them. So that big operation, look at the X off Northern California. They started gridding. We have a major bunker fuel operation again, man. They're stepping it up for the winds tomorrow. Wow. So another heads up, because every time we see this, something happens. You know, we had the fires, have the hurricanes. So yeah, they're definitely just hammering this place. And then you can see the frequencies over here. Let's go check the RAM slider real quick. That'll be a lot better visuals. So we change this to the oh man, they're showing up like crazy. So another alert for the West Coast. We have mass bunker fuel operations out off the coast of California, Washington, and Oregon. And they're going all the way up into the Aleutian Island chain, up into Alaska. Look at these guys, man. They're traders. We have traders out here in the Pacific, dropping the most toxic emissions on the planet. This is all going to cycle up and get into these storms. And then we're all going to have respiratory issues for the next couple weeks. Man. Now when we look at the, we're here on the worldview now. I just want to take a look while that's loading. So according to this, it's really smoking, but on the live satellite views, it's not showing it. So what's going on? Which one's accurate? That looks more like what I was seeing on Bamboo's video today. And it's hard to tell which one of these is the first. Alright, so there's the hot spot. They're only showing 3 little red dots. But the power's out for a huge area. No fires showing up. None of the fires that we're seeing when we turn the heat map on. We got a couple right here. 3 fires. We have another fire right here that's not marked, but we can see the smoke. Couple more fires. There's Mount Hood there. And the fire that's over here is not showing up. There's a lot of hot spots that are not showing up. What is this? It looks like we have smoke coming. Restricted area permit required. Does anybody know? Is this a volcano or a super volcano right there? That's in Washington. Yeah, it's hard to tell, man. I don't know what's going on there. Let me just check this layer. Look, they're seeding. They're seeding hard over here, over the mountains. So heads up, Carson City, all the way up east of Reading. So they're setting up some accelerants over the mountains. Look at that. That's such a targeted spraying operation. It's the only spraying operation till you get all the way down here in the Bajas. Spraying operations over Florida again. We have fires going on in Florida, down in the Bahamas, right where the aerosols are being deployed in West Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia. So we're just all pretty much under a chemtrail cloud deck. Yes, something's going to have to be done about this. We can't just keep sitting back and letting this happen. I'm just going to do a quick look on this. So we have aerosols over Egypt, Libya, over Jordan. And here comes the man-made storm made from the Middle East. There's tons of people that have been killed by this storm already. And it's heading south towards Somalia, Oman, Yemen, and another system right below it. Let's go check Australia. They had all the aerosols being deployed over here. Check it out. Let's just go back a day or two. I remember reporting on the chemtrails right here, and I said there would be fires after the chemtrails. Here's one of the spraying operations. And now it's just all fires everywhere. It looks like they have a land cyclone. So, look, they're spraying North New Zealand. I showed you the clip of the meteorologist saying they were dropping chaff out here. The chemtrails. Doesn't look like they're fabricating any more storms by Guam right this minute. Alright guys, well, we're going to call this a show. My throat's about to give out on me. Yeah, there's a lot of videos out there that shows the chemical compounds in the aerosols. You could actually go to the government website and get all the chemicals that are in the jet fuel, exhaust, and the spraying. Depends on if they're trying to dry the sky out or if they're trying to make it rain. I mean, they got different mixes for different applications. Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and call this show. Thanks to everybody out there that helps us and shares this stuff out. We're going to play a song called Rise. We need to rise, man. They're going to make us all sick and weak, and then they're going to hit us. So we need to fight before it gets that bad. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Play a song called Rise. And then I'll jump over on D-Live, give away the treasure chest and all that stuff. So we'll see you tomorrow night, God willing. Anyway, armor up. Pray for the people in California, Washington, Oregon, everybody across the planet. Here we go. Much love, guys.